be satisfied. Blame the divine. Eventually they'll find the time. And what if I believe you? Or what if I believe you? What if I go on, give it your all tonight? You can say anything you like. I'm not your savior, so far away, blinded by anger. You forgot who to blame. I'll never be your lighthouse in the dust. If I had my way, I'd guide you to the rocks. Go on, give it your all tonight. You can say anything you like. You can say anything you like. Go and give it your all. You can say anything you like. What if I believed you? What if I could? Go on, give it your all tonight. You can say anything you like. I'm not your savior, so far away, blinded by anger. You forgot who to blame. I'll never be your lighthouse in the dust. If I had my way, I'd guide you to the rocks. Go on, give it your all tonight. You can say anything you like. Go on, give it your all tonight. Oh.
Stream over 2,000 soccer matches live on Paramount Plus. That's all the heart-pounding drama from CBS Sports.
How about that?
Abuse me, I like the punishment. You keep me focused, I don't need no riddle. I like when you keep me guessing. It's alright, it's alright. Can we turn our feelings off? I need you, baby, just for one night, for one night. I know what you're looking for. You make it feel like it's the first time. Every time, every time. I don't really wanna fight right now. I don't saw you standing over there. You stole my love, girl, it isn't fair. And I see you, where you move just gets me high. Ignites my flame, sets me into overdrive, sets me into overdrive. Sets me into overdrive. I don't know how this came over me, but this just feels like it's just you and me. And I see you, where you move just gets me high. Ignites my flame, sets me into overdrive, sets me into overdrive.
Welcome back to Whiskey Oval underscore TV, covering some 410 sprint car action. The league is called the NODAK Outlaw Sim League, one of the best 410 leagues out there, if not the best. As everyone's getting lined up to get ready to rock and roll with heat race number 1, missing one other guy, and we'll be underway at Weedsport here tonight. A little bit of race info up there on your screen right now. NODAK Outlaw Sim League, Weedsport Speedway, track length 0.34 miles. Is the track length, altitude 419, city Weedsport, up there in New York. World of Outlaws was here last night. Sheldon Honshield had the thing in the bag, ready to win it. 2 laps ago, he runs into the back of a lap car. Spins himself out, caution waves. Gonna fix a quick setting here. My apologies. And there we go. Now it's live. Live and loud. Heat race number 1. Here's gonna be the race grid. Up there on your screen right now, Zach Janis, SSR Elite Sim Racing driver, the 07, with Colby, FSI Motorsports to his out the side, Sean Brown, Hammer Down Brown, a race winner here in the NODAK Outlaw Sim League, one of the earlier winners. He'll be starting there in 3rd place. Tyler Wilson, Wide Open Motorsports. He'll be rounding out that outside of the 2nd row. Patrick Spangler will be making up the 3rd row with Sam and Jay Price. You have Richard Bates, Ashley, and then Nolan Anderson with R&R Inc. Esports. Number 64 back there in the 9th place. That's how that stuff is going to line out. 10 laps, top 3 does advance. We'll have a C, a B, and an A main. Pace truck is going to be pulling off the racetrack this time, and we'll be going green flag racing. Pace truck's off. We're stacked up, packed up. Green flag is out. Let's shimmy a shive down to turn number 1. Zach is leading this thing. Colby is right there on his back bumper. You have Sean Brown at P3. He's inside the transfer spot. As of right now, ABR setup shop all over that machine. Tyler Wilson outside looking in as he dives down into turn number 1. And here comes Patrick Spangler now. Patrick Spangler looking down to the inner side of Tyler Wilson. Does he have anything for that number 42 machine? Not quite down into turn 1. Zach Janis still working the bottom side of the racetrack in turns 3 and 4. Fastest lap time out there on the raceway is going to be Colby. Sitting there in P2. Into turns 3 and 4. They're going to click off another lap. Colby looking very good on the outside part of the racetrack, trying to get a little bit closer to Zach. Will he be able to do it? Colby still with the fast time out there. Sean Brown still holding down that last transfer spot. Tyler Wilson, P4. Patrick Spangler's going to round out the top 5. Sam J. Price, Richard Bates back here in P7. Ashley, P8. And then Nolan Anderson is out of this race. And that's how that whole field is going to unfold at this time. Track is extremely tacky. Everybody kind of single file down as of right now as Colby tries to work the bottom part of the racetrack. Almost makes contact with Zach down into turns 3 and 4, and we have a new race leader that time by. 2 laps to go around Weedsport Speedway, and this number 30 machine of Colby has absolutely came alive and just set the fast lap, that last lap. And with the white flag in hand, Colby's going to lead that last lap one more time around. Zach trying to work the bottom side part of the racetrack. These guys are inside the A main show as of right now. How hard they're going to race each other. Last time out of turn 4, drag race to the line. And I have no idea who got it. But Hammer Down Brown is going to be there in 3rd place. Tyler Wilson, P4, and Sam J. Price in P5. Patrick, Ashley, and Richard and then Nolan rounding out the race fill. So a drag race to the finish line is how we're going to start off. Is how we're going to start off heat race number 1. Results up there on your screen. How do they finish? Colby won it. By .000. He won it by 0.000. I've never seen that happen. That number 30 machine. He got the dub. That's crazy. Getting ready to rock and roll with heat race number 2. Carlin Cure, back 2-time winner for the NODAK Outlaw Sim League. Fun fact, Mr. Cure, the only 2-time winner this season for the NODAK Outlaw Sim League. They're in the number 7 machine, driving out of Carolina. Phil will be starting there on the outside of the front row. He needs a little bit of racing luck this week. Been running strong all season long. Just needs a little bit of good racing luck. Gunnar Harrison from the great state of Texas, home of the Buckies, the cleanest bathrooms around. He'll be starting there in 3rd spot. Josh Hofer with the FSI Motorsports outside of the 2nd row. Josh and Andrew. Then you have Adam and Tyler Coates, the number 32 machine, driving out of the Northwest, making his start for the NODAK Outlaw Sim League, back there in the 8th place. So that's how that's going to line up. Top 3 go straight to the Mac Daddy show. Everybody else will have to fight for a 1-spot transfer spot. Here we go. Green flag out. We'll see if Phil has a little bit of racing luck. He taps the outside wall, coming across the start-finish line. Carlin Cure absolutely rocking out there at this green flag. Of the drop of the green flag. Josh Hofer and Phil, they're going to duke it out for a slight bit. 3 wide. Here comes a 54 of Gunnar Harrison down on the bottom. Harrison down to the bottom side, down the backstretch into turn 3. He's going to get around Hofer. Will he get around Phil? Yes, he does. So Gunnar Harrison, 2-for-1 dinner deal. The number 54 machine grabbed that third and last transfer spot, so he's still in the hot seat, though. Trying to catch up to Josh now. Josh trying to hold down P2, but he has a lot of hungry hounds right there behind him, and Mr. Gunnar Harrison is absolutely flying up front. Last lap time up there on your race screen this time by Josh. Looks like he got a little loose down to the turn number 1. A little bit of neck code action. And Mr. Gunnar Harrison is going to capture P2. And he is unofficially a hard charger. No, he's only moved up 1 spot here in the heat race number 2. So Carlin Cure way out front. This guy is absolutely on rails here tonight. Josh P3. He's still inside the show, but Phil, he's going to try to get around him. Coming out of 2, got to the inside, almost got into the side of him. He had to check out, so they're going to follow each other's nose to tail. Coming across the line 3 laps to go, 1 minute and 37 seconds into heat race number 2. That's anyone's race for this last transfer spot. You have Josh, Phil, and Josh Hofer, and Phil almost makes contact once again in turns 3 and 4. And here comes Josh Hofer now going to split the difference. Josh Hofer he did split the difference past 2 cars in 1 corner. White flag for the race field last time around Weedsport Speedway for heat race number 2, and we're beating and banging back here for the 4th spot. And Josh Hofer trying to lay down his fastest lap of the night. Checkered flag waves for Carlin Cure, Gunnar Harrison, and who's going to capture the 3rd and final transfer spot? This is going to be Mr. Hofer there in the number 94 machine, and what a drive by this driver with FSI Motorsports. Guys up in front of him was messing around. He said, all right, guys, see you later. Split the difference, sliced the bread, and got through it. And he was able to get right up to the front. We get ready for heat race number 3. Heat race number 2 results. Let me show that real quick. Carlin Cure absolutely flying, won by 4.1 seconds there in that Rocket Racing setup machine of his. And now 410 sprint. Gunnar Harris, P2. Josh, 3rd. Josh Van Manen. I can never say his last name. Anyways, he'll finish 4th place. Phil, P5. Andrew Adam, and then Tyler Coates rounding out the race field. So here we go with heat race number 3. Blaine Brink, 021 machine. We'll be starting on the top of the charts with Kenny Hopp, and he disconnected, reconnected, disconnected, then reconnected. Elite Sim Racing driver, number 33, outside of the front row. Trey will be starting there in P3, drive out of Illinois with that double 4. Andrew Hauser with a 013. FSI Motorsports will be riding there in that P4 spot. Another driver from the great state of Texas. Should probably be its own country. I'll sign the petition. Austin Piper, number 65. He'll be starting in the P5 spot. Brady Roderick, the double deuce machine with R&R Esports. He'll be starting there in the 6th spot with Mike Sorum and Jordan. Rounding out the race field there in the P8 spot. So that's how all that will shake out. Pretty sure I've seen Mr. Brink race about 30 minutes ago, 45 minutes ago in another league. So he's ready to go. He's already warmed up. Definitely raced at, he raced at a different track. We'll see. We'll see if that carries over here tonight. Here at Weedsport. Kenny Hopp in the Colt there to his outside. Green flag waves. And we're off to the races. 10 laps, top 3. Kenny Hoffman trying to squeeze the needles, thread the needle to the outside, and he does. And Blaine Brink smashes the outside wall. Kenny Hoffman absolutely threaded the needle, had about a centimeter on both sides from the outside wall to the car and to the inside. He was not going to lift out of it, though, and he was able to capture the lead on lap number 1. Trey, he's going to fall back to P2. And that number 44 machine, Blaine Brink, back to P3 now. He's lost 2 spots. The Texas driver, Austin Piper's rounding up P4. Then Andrew Hauser, Brady Roderick, and Mike Sorum rounding out the race field. So we may have a pretty good battle up here soon. Kenny Hoffman has that right rear tire all the way to the outside wall, and he is letting that thing hang all out. Blaine Brink, he's going to recapture the second spot. A little loose coming out of turn 2, though. And drag race down the backstretch, and we have contact. Trey gets spun into the outside wall, and his night might be done for heat race number 3. No, he keeps it right back onto the raceway. Then he gets spun out to the inside, so Andrew Hauser is inside the bubble. Andrew Hauser is in the hot seat right now. He's in the A main show, and we are swapping spots up here up front. Battle for the race lead. Kenny Hoffman slides job up, tries to reclaim that spot, but Blaine Brink pretty quick now, and a little bit more contact being made in turns 1 and 2. Blaine looked like he's trying to park it there on the front nose of Kenny Hoffman. Kenny Hoffman wanted no part of it, as we're going to be side by side coming across the line, and Kenny Hoffman leads that lap. 2 laps to go around Weedsport. Kenny taps the outside wall with that right rear tire. Tries to get a big run down the back straightaway. Still side by side. Crossover. Blaine Brink tries to keep that machine down to the inside wall, and he ain't going to do it. Brink now falls back to P2. Last lap around this joint. Lap 10 of 10. Kenny Hoffman, Blaine Brink, 1-2. Andrew Hauser, P3. Austin Piper outside looking in. Coming around turn 4. And Andrew Hauser will be the last car making it into the Mac Daddy show here tonight. And Trey, the number 44 machine, a tough break for him out there on the raceway. Heat race number 3 had battles all the way around the racetrack. And there's the final results. Kenny Hoffman, Blaine Brink, Andrew Hauser, Austin Piper, Brady, Mike, Trey, and Jordan rounding out the race field. Grid for heat race number 4 is going to fall like this. Clayton Tilley, number 51, with Momentum Sim Sports. He'll be on pole with Daniel Boyd with Vortex Sim Sports. There to his outside, you have Mr. West, LGR Motorsports, number 10, and then you have Randolph. They're making up the second row. Chad Center and Steven, Northwest and Pennsylvania driver. You have Craig and then Darren. The 00 and the number 1 car making up the row. The driver that's starting on pole, Clayton Tilley, the number 51 machine, did not have the best of weeks at Lernerville last week. Got a little bit of contact, got pushed right off the racetrack. But Clayton Tilley did win Eldora this year. 718 is when he won it last month. Been I guess it's only been one race since he has not won. We'll see if he can start off his race, his night off quite good here in heat race number 4. Here we go. He gets a good shot down the front stretch when the green flag waved. Coulter West through the outside there in the number 10 machine. Daniel Boyd falls back to P3. Daniel Boyd's the 79 machine all the way to the outside part of the racetrack. But the number 15 machine of Chad Center, he's going to bump his way right up to 3rd place. And now Chad Center's in the hot seat and inside the show. Clayton Tilley grubbed that outside wall all the way down the front stretch just last lap. He's able to keep it going, though. Lap 4 of 10, almost halfway home. The mama this time by only 55 seconds in heat race number 4. Everybody's still out there on the racetrack besides Dar, and I believe he's out of this race. But the number 10 of Coulter West started in 3rd place. He's up to P2 now. Chad Center, our hard charger, he's moved up 2 spots here in heat race number 4, working the bottom part of the racetrack. Almost did a wheel stand down the front stretch as he tried to put all that power down. We have a good race back here for P5 as Jason Randolph and Daniel Boyd battle it out. Jason Randolph in that number 47 machine down to the bottom part of the racetrack. Will he try to slide it on up in front of Daniel Boyd? Almost did. But now Daniel Boyd back down to the bottom, so that's how that's going to fall as Randolph just captures that 4th place spot. Randolph, now he's outside looking in of the racetrack. Cockpit mode outside of the visor. Randolph about a half a groove lower in turns 1 and 2 as they work down the backstretch. Lap car coming into play. Lap car goes into the pits. Almost makes contact. Randolph in center. 2 laps to go. Clayton Tilley absolutely dominating the field right now. Coulter West has a very good dominant P2 spot. Chad Center, that's who we're watching. Chad Center last time down the back straightaway. Can he block that inside lane? That's all you got to do. Coming out of turn 4, Jason Randolph is there trying to get the power down. Not quite, though. Jason Randolph outside looking in. Here in heat race number 4, Chad Center gets into it. Little bump there at the end. I don't know if that was friendly or not. I guess we'll find out, though. It's just getting darker and darker out here at Weedsport Speedway. The D main is up. 2 cars are going to advance out of this. I see only 6 cars out there. So 2 cars advances. We'll see how this all works out. Tyler Wilson, Jason Randolph, Wide Open Motorsports driver, and a Firm Motorsports driver. Be there on the front row. Brady Roderick and Andrew making up that 2nd row. Ashley, P5, and then you have Craig there in the 6th spot. And then you have Jordan with Up North Esports, a 113 machine, rounding out the race field. It's a driver that we watched last heat race, almost made it in there. It's finished 1 spot short. That outside lane here at Weedsport not getting the best of starts. Not the best of starts on the outside. I don't know if... I think I would rather be in that 3rd place spot where Roderick is at. Bottom side, you can see that. You can see the starter hit that gas pedal a little bit sooner. Anyways, here we go. Oh my goodness, and Wilson gets way loose, and the guy that started on pole, he's outside of the top 2 now. Wilson was able to recover 1 spot, so Brady Roderick is now in the 3rd spot. You have Jordan trying to get down to the bottom side of Brady, and he's going to do it, trying to park it there on the front nose of it. And now Jordan is up to the 3rd spot. Andrews P5. You have Ashley here in the 6th spot, and Craig did not make the race start. Almost contact down the front straightaway. So back up front we go. Jason Randolph down the backstretch and into turn and number 3. He's going to lead this field around here as he clicks off 3 laps. He's going to start lap 4 now. Tyler Wilson at P2. You have Jordan there in 3rd place as he gets a little loose in turns 1 and 2. Brady Roderick's trying to hold back Andrew. Tyler Wilson seeing that green flag. He got antsy. He stepped on the loud pedal as fast as he possibly could, and that back end of that 410 sprint car absolutely got underneath him. Completely lost it. Roderick trying to rip the lip around turn 3 and 4. Right rear tire next to that outside wall. Trying to find as much grip as possible, and he almost backs that thing up into the outside wall there. And a hard charger is this guy right here. He has moved up 4 spots here in the D main show. Lap 7 of 10 is what we're working. Last lap times up there on your screen. Jordan a 14.5. Tyler Wilson a 14.2, as he has a little bit of traffic there in front of him. And he gets crazy loose coming out of turn 4, and you can see just how slick this track is actually getting. Still trying to put as much power down as possible. A race leader, Jason Randolph, absolutely putting down some blistering lap times. 13.8 is the fastest lap time out there on the raceway in 9 laps. We'll see if he can run any faster as a white flag waves. Tyler Wilson inside the show as of right now. If he can just make it in. Wide open motorsports driver coming out of turn 4 now. And Tyler Wilson and Jason Randolph, their hopes are still alive for the checkered flag. And Jordan comes across the line wrecking as everybody else comes across the line as well. Got to keep your hopes alive. You would definitely want to get in that top 2. The 410 official race, the NOS Energy Outlaw 410 race, whatever you can call it. They were at Weedsport this week. Curious if any of these drivers use that opportunity to practice this track, get their setups dialed in a little bit more by using the official stuff. Here's a race grid. We're going to do the exact same thing. 2 drivers are going to advance out of it. Josh, the Firm Motorsports driver, number the 05. He'll be starting on pole with Sam J. Price, FSI Motorsports, starting on the outside of the front row. Daniel Boyd, Vortex Sim Sports. He'll be starting in P3 with Mike Sorum. Number 69, he'll be starting in 4th place. Adam Thompson rounding out the 5th spot, and Richard Bates, number 27, rounding out that 6th spot. And rounding out the field here in the Bravo is going to be Darren. Lights are on. Darkness is almost upon us. Still a little bit of sunlight out there on the raceway. Man, we've had some incredible racing here tonight for the NODAK Outlaw Sim League. If you guys like to join this action, go check them out on Facebook. Get joined up. We're stacked up, packed up. The C main. Top 2 drivers will advance. How will it all play out? Green flag waves. Josh, Daniel Boyd, front row. We have 2 cars absolutely crashing. They're going to have to grab a tow, and their nights are going to be done. Side by side for the race lead. Daniel Boyd to the outside. They make contact. Josh hits the outside wall. That was Josh to the outside. Daniel Boyd and Josh got into it, battling out for the race lead. Josh smashes the outside wall. Looks like his car is okay. Nothing's broke. But Sam J. Price, Merry Christmas. He's into that final transfer spot. Lap 3 of 10 is what they're working. Sam J. Price slips off the bottom side just a little bit. Josh is going to take advantage of it. Sam tries to get right back underneath him. Not quite. Sam hard on the brakes. I thought he was going to try to do an up and under move. Josh kept that 410 sprint car right down to the inside wall, and that move did not work out for the 19 machine. Adam Thompson now tries to get around Mr. Price. He's going to do it. Price smashes the inside wall as he was going to go for the inside move. So halfway home to mama this time by here in the C main. Daniel Boyd clicking off laps and trying to win this thing. Josh trying to get back to his back bumper. Trip around Weedsport. Here it is, out of the visor cam. Trying to stay inside that dirt, trying to stay with that grip as much as possible. Sam J. Price just does a wheel stand down the front straightaway. Best lap time out there on the raceway is going to be this guy right here, the guy on the top of the charts. Daniel Boyd, number 79 machine with Vortex Sim Sports. A 14.306. Josh, though, right there behind him with a 14.331. As he has a white flag in hand, the flag man is going to show it to him one more time around Weedsport. Daniel Boyd, a little bit of contact with Josh down the back straightaway. Boyd was down to the bottom side. Don't know exactly what all happened, but regardless, Daniel and Josh, they're going to finish 1-2. Sam J. Price's night is going to be done. The same thing with Adam Thompson and Richard Bakes, Mike Sorum, and Darren. Those guys' nights will be done. But Daniel and Josh, they're going to fight for the A-Main show at the end of this night. And here it is, the B-Main, the Bravo show. What last two drivers are going to make it in into the Mac Daddy? Right now, it's Austin Piper. He's going to be on the top of the pole, top of the grid there, with Phil to his outside. Patrick Spengler starting in third place. Steven Frenberg in P4. You have Trey still be starting in fifth place. Tyler Coates, and then Nolan be rounding out the field there in the seventh spot. Waiting for Anderson to connect and get into his 410 sprint car. Looks like he will not be making the race start. So Tyler Coates will be the last driver in. Only 6 cars with 10 laps. Everyone gets their gearing and they're going to be rolling off. Thank you all for tuning in here to Wiscoville_TV. It's much appreciated. NODAK Outlaw Sim League 410 sprint car action. Seeing some incredible racing here tonight. Definitely a 2-groove racetrack. And Austin Piper, I believe he'll be getting the EOL. Piper was starting on the outside of the front row. Sorry, Piper was starting in the inside of the second row. Looks like he'll be getting the EOL for this race. So it's going to be Patrick Spengler and Phil. Those drivers are going to be on the top row. Spengler down to the bottom side, Phil to the high side. You have Trey starting on the inside of the second row, and then Steven to the outside. Who's going to make it in? Will Phil's luck change? Hammer on the gas pedal, and here we go. Green flag out. Phil trying to work to the outside. He's going to do it. 2 drivers are going to make it into the A-Main show. What 2 last drivers are going to be? Patrick Spengler works the bottom side of the racetrack. He's our race leader. Phil's trying to reclaim second place. They're on the high side. The 14 machine puts that thing next to the outside wall. And here comes Phil to the race lead now. Patrick and Phil side by side in turns 3 and 4. Who gets the advantage? Phil does, and Phil leads that last lap. Patrick still trying to hold on down to the bottom side part of the racetrack with that iconic paint scheme. He ain't going to do it now. So Patrick Spengler on the hot seat. Out inside the bubble, but only wide the last spot. Then Austin Piper, driver from the great state of Texas, outside looking in with Trey all over that back Nerf bar. Piper getting crazy loose going out of turn 4. Patrick Spengler being dedicated down to the bottom side part of the racetrack. The number 10 car wants no part of that outside lane. Coming out of turn 4. Patrick Spengler trying to make it into the A-Main show. 4 laps to go here for the B-Main. The bumper cam, that is exactly what he is seeing there in the rear view mirror if he is running one. Piper puts out right rear tire next to the outside wall once again. clicking off another lap. 1 minute, 33 seconds here in the Bravo main event. And Patrick Spengler trying to do everything he possibly can. You have Austin Piper and Trey, though. These two drivers have been battling all race long. Trey trying to find a way around Austin Piper. I think the 44 might be a little bit quicker than the 65 machine, but Trey just cannot find a opening. With 2 laps to go now, Austin Piper needs to find something there in the number 65 machine to keep his hopes alive. And Patrick Spengler still just working that bottom side part of the racetrack, minding his own business. White flag out one more time around Weedsport. Has a pretty good gap though, but closing in on our race leader, Phil. Phil down the backstretch. Into turns 3 and 4. These two drivers, Phil and Patrick, making it straight to the A main show and keeping their hopes alive as a checkered flag waves. Austin Piper's night's going to be done, and Steven Frenberg night's going to be done as well. There's a B main results up there on your screen one last time. And that's how they're going to fall. Austin, Steven, Trey, Tyler, Noel, their nights are going to be done. Here for the NODAK Outlaw Sim League. The best times are out there on the raceway, or up there on your screen. So as things start getting ready to rock and roll with the Mac Daddy show, these drivers are going to take their quick little warm-up. NODAK Outlaw Sim League. Sean Brown won race number 1 at Lanier. Race number 2 was Carlin Cure. Ross won race number 3. Ross not making a start here tonight. Haven't seen Ross in quite a while, I don't believe. Kobe won Kokomo on the 11th of last month. Clayton Tilley won Eldora on the 18th, and then Lernerville was Carlin Cure once again. So only one 2-time winner here for the NODAK Outlaw Sim League, and that's that number 7 machine, the guy we are clicked on as of right now, sitting P4 there on the quickest lap times with a 17.1 or 17.412. Weedsport here tonight. Obviously, the next week, a little controversy there in the NODAK Outlaw League, but they are going to Bristol, I do believe. Then after Bristol, they go to Knoxville, Charlotte, then Limaland. Then they have Labor Day off, then Volusia, USA, and then Fairbury. They're going to round out the season with, and Fairbury. Wow, that's a tough closer there. Definitely with 410 sprints. But I like it. As Kobe has a quick time right now, is a 12.230. 3-minute warm-up, only 40 seconds left to go. Trying to make their last warm-ups, get their last muscle memory in. And it'll be A main Mac Daddy Racing here on Whiskey_TV. Much thank you all for tuning in. Thanks for all the likes and shares and comments. It's much appreciated. NODAK Outlaw Sim League, one of my favorite leagues that I broadcast for sure. Man, we've seen some incredible heat races here. If you guys watched the World of Outlaw race, I know I talked about it at the beginning of the stream. World of Outlaws were here last night on a Saturday night event. Sheldon Haudenschild had that thing won. That NOS Energy car of his. 2 laps to go, he runs into the back of a lap car, giving it all he got. He lost that, then David Gravel won it. So that's how the World of Outlaw event worked. Reading through some of these comments, Alex says, "Let's go Team FSI." Alex is a TikToker. Go follow that guy on TikTok. He always puts in some pretty good videos. Dana Overton says, go hammer down Brown. Hammer down Brown. Thought he won. Yeah, he did. He won race number 1. Sean Brown won race number 1 for the NODAK. Go like Blaine and Coulter. Go LGR, says Olsen. Tim Mountain says, hi, Jake from the Frozeland. Hope to see you racing in the NARC League next season. I don't think I'll be racing in the National Auto Racing Club next season. I think I got my own league. I'll be racing. I'll be racing some trucks on a Tuesday night. Jordan Enter says, good win from the Colt. That's Kenny Hoppin he's talking about. Threaded the needle there on the outside part of the racetrack on lap number 1. I mean, absolutely threaded it. Kenny Hoppin always putting on an exciting show. One of my favorite dirt track racers here on iRacing. So checkered flag waves, and everybody hopefully got their setups dialed in right. We'll see. One thing about this racetrack, though, on the pit lane cam, it plays music, and then Facebook flags my video, so I got to be careful I don't click on pit lane 2. Only 18 cars are going to make the start. We've seen the number 7 machine of Carlin Cure absolutely flying and won by 4.1 seconds in this heat race. Will that carry over to the A main show? Well, yeah, I don't know. Colby's pretty fast too, and he'll be starting on pole. So it's time to go Mac Daddy racing now, the A main show. Practice is over. Qualifying is over. 410 sprint car actions from the NODAK Outlaw Sim League. 18 drivers making the grid. And this is how they're all going to line up. Starting on pole with FSI Motorsports is that number 30 machine of Mr. Colby. Outside of him is a 2-time winner for the NODAK Outlaw Sim League, number 7. With the Rocket Racing setups, Carlin Cure. Kenny Hoffman, he'll be starting there in that 3rd spot with Elite Sim Racing. Starting on the outside of Kenny Hoffman is Clayton Tilley with Momentum Sim Sports. 5th place is going to be Zach, and then Gunnar Harris there to 6th place. Starting up the 4th row is going to be Blaine Brink with Coulter West with LGR Motorsports. Hammer Down Brown, Sean Brown, number 8 machine from Canada. He'll be starting in 8th place. Josh Hofer with FSI Motorsports will be rounding out the top 10. Andrew Hauser, another FSI Motorsports driver, will be making the spot. He'll be starting there in 11th place. Chad Center, 12th place. Halfway through, Jason Randolph, Daniel Boyd, Phil, Tyler Wilson, Josh, and Patrick Spangler making the race. 410 sprint cars, we're stacked up, we're packed up, wing to wing, wheel to wheel, 30 laps around Weedsport Speedway, and we're off to the races with the green flag out. And we have one guy that just completely left the ballpark, and that's going to be Colby. Yellow flag waves, and we have more chaos out there. I seen a guy there on the top part of my screen absolutely doing somersaults, going straight across turn 4 and outside of the ballpark and into the pit area. And we have a lot of stuff to break down. The number 10 machine, he goes in to get a repair. Front wing gone. Zach is in there as well. So here's a yellow flag. Here we go. We'll try to break this stuff down. We're going to do the good old spectator mode. Oh no, a race leader, Colby, smashes the outside wall right in front of Carlin Cure. And there he goes. Absolutely doing somersaults. Then don't know what happened down here. Oh no, Zach taps the inside wall right in front of the race field, and he smashes the outside wall. So yellow flag out for the first time here tonight. We'll try to break down the race field to see exactly what all happened, or see where we all run. Looks like Carlin Cure is going to be on the top spot. Clayton Tilley in P2. Kenny Hoppin will be rounding out the third spot. So kind of a shaky start. 1 lap, 2 wrecks. Here we go. Green flag, single file restart. Yellow flag already back out. Green flag waved for about 1 lap, and then the yellow flag came right back out to it. I say I have Tyler Wilson being showed there on my program. Mr. Tyler Wilson, number 42. Wide Open Motorsports. Clips the inside wall, and that's the second driver that has done that, and Zach runs right into him. And Zach's night is just absolutely not off to the best of starts. Kind of a shaky start for the NODAK Outlaw Assembly. Lights on the pace truck is off the next time by, and we'll be back under green flag action. Jason Randolph trying to catch the back part of the racetrack, so Carlin Cure is going to be our race leader. Clayton Tilley did not have the best weeks last week. Got bumped off the racetrack early on there at Lernerville, and obviously no outside wall there, and he goes absolutely flying. I think like on lap 2 or 3. So he's trying to recover. Clayton Tilley won Eldora. Carlin Cures won 2. So can Tilley become the second back-to-back winner for the NODAK Outlaw Assembly? Green flag out. Trying to make some green flag laps here. Carlin Cure is our race leader, Clayton Tilley P2, but he definitely has company with Gunnar Harris down there on the bottom side. Harris gets loose coming out of turn 4, and a little bit too much throttle trying to get off at turn 4. That place is getting slicked up quite bad now. This whole racetrack is starting to get slicked up. Hammer down Brown, he has found himself there in the 4th spot. Kenny Hoppin, he's fell back to P5 now. Blaine Brink, he's up to 6. Josh Hofer 7th, and Andrew Hauser 8th place. Chad Center, the Phil. Phil is one of those drivers that made it into one of the lower mains. He's up into that 10th spot now, inside the top 10. Working lap 8 of 30, and here's our battle for the race lead as Cure tries to rip the lip around turns 3 and 4. Clayton Tilley follows him in hot pursuit, trying to get to that back bumper. Last lap time up there on your race screen. 13.7 for the top 2 drivers, and Gunnar Harrison a 13.8. Everybody else a little bit slower there in the 14-second time range. And once again, those drivers, no, Tilley with a 0.9, as a caution's going away for the 3rd time here tonight with 20 laps to go here in the A-Main show. It looks like Colby got caught up into another accident, so his night went from very, very good to really, really bad very fast. Coulter West and Colby on board with LGR Motorsports driver Mr. West. Right rear tire smashed the outside wall, not once but not twice, and Colby has absolutely nowhere to go. And just absolutely drilled him. Check this action out. Down the backstretch. Back under green flag we go. Clayton Tilley leading the stand. Carton LeCure to the outside, and man, cautions are waving here tonight here at Weedsport. We're having caution after caution here. Right when things start getting good. And it looks like the number 7 machine got into a wreck of Zach Janis, SSR Elite Sim Racing driver. Oh man, definitely not his fault. Absolutely just got hammered. Man, that could be a scary moment too. Check this action out. Thought he was through it, and no, he wasn't. Not even close. My apology, guys. Every time I do a replay, my program kind of freezes up on me and doesn't want to go back to live mode. But we got it, slowly and surely. Best lap time is still going to be Clayton Tilley there in the second spot with a 13.630. And man, if this thing goes green flag racing all the way to the end, we could have a barn burner there for the race lead. Gunnar Harris, unofficially a hard charger. No, Chad Center back here in the 12th spot. He's moved up A, but Gunnar Harris, driver from Texas, he's moved up 7 spots. There, the number 54 machine. Speed shot 51 on that top wing and through the engine cover. Neon blue looking color. The number 8 machine, Sean Brown. There in P4, he's moved up 5 spots, slowly making his way up there. Carton LeCure absolutely dominated at Lernerville last week, and man, if he could get another win here tonight, that would be awesome. But he has Clayton Tilley all over the back bumper of him, and now here comes Gunnar Harris trying to make it up there and try to stay onto the back bumper. These back nerf bars of these top 2 drivers. Nose tail around turns 1 and 2. Clayton Tilley a little bit loose down into turn number 1. He's going to lose a little bit of ground to Carton LeCure, but not much as they try to work off of turn 4 now. Tilley's car looks like it is a little bit loose around this racetrack. Will that help him here in these closing laps as we are 11 minutes and 12 seconds into this run? And Carton LeCure, I thought he tagged the outside wall in turns 3 and 4, and here comes Clayton Tilley now down to the bottom side. Slide job up to the top spot, and we are swapping for the top spot. Clayton Tilley, our race leader, down the backstretch. Carton LeCure tries to get it back in turns 3 and 4, and he's going to do it. big time checkup for Tilly as a caution has gone a wave as things were heating up there in the top spot. Tilly got a good run coming out of 4, trying to use a high side cure. Right rear tire was there though, so Tilly had to use that brake lift off the gas pedal before they dove right back down in turns 1 and 2. Swip swapping spots up there on the top spot. That's fun to see. Halfway home to Mama this time by about 1 lap over. Shows lap 17 of 30. I think we're actually on lap 16 of 30. Caution laps obviously do not count. So this will be a true 30-lap main event. Carlin Cure, Clayton Tilley putting up a very good fight. You have Gunnar Harris from the great state of Texas there in 3rd place. Definitely a lot of speed. Then that number 54 machine. Hammer Down Brown right there in the 4th spot. Then you have Blaine Brink. And the 021 machine ran a earlier league race here today with another league. So he's ready. He's warmed up. He's ready to go. He's rounding out the top 5. That 021 car. Just being shown he's lost 2 spots though here in the Mac Daddy show. You have Josh Hofer back there in the 6th spot. Andrew Hauser will be rounding out the 7th spot here in the A main. Sean Brown did win Lernerville the very first race of the race season and has not won since. Sean Brown back in the 4th spot there. A lot of ABR setup shops there on those wings. Back under green flag racing. Here we go. I don't like making a big deal of this, but it's been a pretty big deal in a lot of leagues lately. A lot of these setup shops putting their big names up there on the top wing, and right now you have a Rocket Racing setup guy on the top spot. You have Speed Shop 51 there in P2. You have ABR setup shop there in 3rd place and 4th place. And so on and so forth. Good race back here for the P5 spot. Look at this gaggle of cars. As Phil blinks out, he blinks in. Who is that down the bottom side? That's going to be Josh Hofer there on the bottom side part of the racetrack, trying to get underneath Phil. Phil just needing to turn the page of his luck there. He's going to force a 3 wide for the tops for that 4th spot. And here comes Phil making a hard charge up front. Phil down to the bottom side, and he's going to try a slide job. Hammer Down Brown, not quite going to leave a lane up there, but didn't have to slide job him. Brown got a little loose coming out of turn 2 and all the way down the backstretch. So Phil, what a run he has had. Made the A main from a lower main, and now he's inside the top 10. Actually, he's inside the top 4 now. This number 14 machine is absolutely flying on lap 23 of 30, and there's the last lap times up there on your race screen. Check up on board with our race leaders as the yellow flag's on a wave. Once again, Clayton Tilley had a pretty good lead over Clayton Tilley. So back to what I was saying though. Happening in a lot of leagues. I think this page is slowly starting to happen here in the iRacing world. But man, a lot of setup shops putting their names all over these sprint cars, and then all these drivers race each other here in these league races, which is absolutely great. Love it. I don't know, though. Rocket Racing setups, top of the charts. Speed Shop 51 in 2nd place, and ABR setup shop in 3rd. Josh Hofer being back there in 7th place. Daniel Boyd, Andrew Hauser, and then Patrick Spangler rounding out the top 10. Blaine Brink fell back a little bit. He's back to 12th place. Tyler Wilson, 13th. Man, some of these guys, not the best of nights. Kenny Hoffman is being shown into the pits right now, getting that machine worked on. Colby, he just had a roller coaster night there in the number 30 machine. Some nights you just have that Just notch your 9, and that's it for that number 30 car. Lots of cautions here tonight. I believe this is a 6th caution that is waved in a 30-lap A-main field. But we're back under green flag racing. 6 laps to go around Weedsport. Side-by-side battle. Speed shot 51 tags the inside wall. Tries a slide job Carlin Cure, but Cure gets the race lead back. Carlin Cure absolutely dominated the race field at Lernerville last week. Will he try to stay on the top of the charge? Clayton Tilley in P2. Gunnar Harris trying to get around the Speed Shot 51 machine of Clayton Tilley. Sorry, both of those drivers Speed Shot 51 machines. Carlin Cure trying to rip the lip. 2 different lines for first and second place as Cure tucks that machine down to the bottom side part of the racetrack and tries to make that thing stick. Last lap time, Cure ran the fastest lap time out of the entire field with a 14.603. Another lap, here we go. Update iRacing. 14.4 and a 14.6 for Tilley. So Cure slowly starting to walk away with this thing. Gunnar Harris trying to work down to the bottom side part of the racetrack. That number 54, and he's going to get around Clayton Tilley. Almost is. Still side by side down to the turn number 1. Side by side for the second spot as Carlin Cure is slowly starting to walk away with this thing now, as these 2 drivers are still going to battle it out. White flag waves for the number 7 machine. So we watch on board for the second place spot, the second place podium spot for the last time down the back straightaway. Harris back down to the bottom side, Tilley to the high side. Phil still holding down P4, hammer down Brown P5, Josh Hofer 6, Patrick Spangler coming home in P7. And the checkered flag waves for our race leader. And what a race that was. Cure absolutely mistake-free all 30 laps. Mistake-free for all 30 laps. They do the good old classic iRacing photo shoot. We'll get an interview with the top 3 drivers of Cure, Harris, and Tilley. Saint came all the way down to the end with caution after caution. Restarts came into a huge play. After 30 laps, that's how the order is going to fall. But the guy that finished in 3rd place is going to be Clayton Tilley. And Tilley, man, kind of a lot of cautions out there, a lot of restarts. But from your point of view, how was it?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I mean, we had a pretty broken car at the end there. I smashed the wall way too many times at the start there, and it was really, really loose at the end. So it was no good for me. That's why I sort of fell off at the end. But yeah, it's just kind of a shame those yellows kept coming out at the wrong time. I passed Carlin 3 times and the yellow come out and give him the lead back. So I think if we could have got to the front, we could have made a winner of that one. But here's what it is.
Weedsport Speedway, kind of a weird turns 1 and 2, and there was definitely multiple lines there. Kind of your point of view, what was the fastest line around here?
Well, there wasn't really one dominant line. That's sort of the good and bad thing about Weedsport is it's forever changing. At the start, it was on the top there, was working really nice, and then it sort of went to the middle, and then the bottom come back in, and then the middle come back in at the end. So yeah, kind of, it's always changing, which is, I suppose, is a good thing. So yeah.
All right, awesome, man. Well, another good show for you here tonight. Last week wasn't the best week, so I think you got bumped off the racetrack, but this week, finishing there in that third spot, we go to Bristol next week. How do you feel about that track?
Yeah, that's the lowest ranked track on my list. I hate that joint, but we'll show up and get some points and make sure we take home the championship.
Very cool, man. You got any big shout outs that you'd like to give?
Yeah, just got to thank all the boys at Momentum and our main sponsors, speedshop51.com, for all your setups, coaching, all that sort of stuff. Obviously, all our other sponsors too, Vanderpool Construction, Racecraft Simulation, Juiced Energy for hopping on board, Verdict Clothing, CT Designs, Everything Dirt, Full Chassis, J-Dub Symptography, Ultimate Dirt TV, and yeah, just congrats to Gunner on second too and Carlin on the win.
Very cool, man. We'll catch you next Sunday.
Cheers, mate.
Clayton Tilley coming home there in the third spot, and with a second place finish from the great state of Texas is going to be Gunnar Harris. Harris, how was it, man?
That was a pretty tricky track, to be honest with you. I've ran several officials, and it was completely different track, that's for sure. Usually in the officials, it's you can rail right around the rim, and this I had no idea where to run in this race. I just got lucky to I had that EOL there in the heat, and I got lucky to have a pretty good run up there to second, and really got me a good starting spot in the feature. So that really helped me a lot.
Track gets really slicked up. Was you full throttle at all?
No, you're at least me. I was about quarter throttle. I don't know about Carlin. He was probably I couldn't tell you how fast he was going, but he was going pretty darn fast. But me, I was probably about quarter throttle, at least half throttle. But as far as getting into 1 and 2, that's you just really slowing down, probably to obviously like a crawl.
Usually the iRacing, or we did the iRacing official was here at Weedsport last week, and like you said, you ran a few of those. Track was completely different. Is it usually pretty different from the official races to these league races?
It all really depends on what the track state is. If you have a official race that has a decent amount of cars, like a full server, about 24 or whatever it is, and then you have a league that is similar, then yes, maybe the track states will be or the track conditions will be quite similar. But in this case, there was much more cars, and then we had that reset right there for the warm up. And usually on official races, you have a pre-gen track where it auto generates a track state to 15, 20, 30%, and on this you actually have cars wearing it in, and so there is quite a bit of a difference there.
Moving up 8 spots in the Mac Daddy show, we go to Bristol Dirt next week. How do you feel about that track in these 410s?
I'm gonna need some serious luck for that one, that's for sure.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, congratulations here tonight, man. Finishing there in that second place. You got any shout outs that you like to give?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my parents at WA Stone Supply, Speed Shop 51, and Rabbit Designs for the clean look, and you all for broadcasting, Philip for putting it on, and congrats to Carlin and Tilly. Great race.
Very cool, man. We'll see you at Bristol Dirt.
Good luck, man. Thanks.
Gunnar Harrison didn't feel too confident about that Bristol Dirt race, but the guy's going to finish on top of the charts for the third time this season, I believe, and back-to-back races. That's going to be Carlin Cure, and Cure, man, absolutely flying out there. You swapping spots for a little bit, but overall, I believe you led the most laps.
Yeah, when the track was a little bit more topside dominant, I think Clayton was quite a bit faster than me, but he kept catching cautions at the wrong time and couldn't get by. But yeah, we had a good race going for a while, and then I think I kind of found the bottom a little bit better and sort of pulled away. But I think with that track reset, it was also kind of funky track for Weedsport. It's a little bit different than what it usually would be. But yeah, we had a good race going and pretty clean race in there for a while.
I was going to ask you, speed shops all over a lot of these cars. Do you know when you look in your rear view mirror and the guys lined up behind you, do you notice that they're teammates or anything, or you just try to stay focused and look forward?
Honestly, that doesn't really bother me. I mean, I get they're all speed shop drivers, but I could care less. They're all fun guys to race with, and I know they're all going to race clean. But yeah, it's cool to see all the different setup shops running together.
Bristol Dirt is next week. How do you feel about that track?
Yeah, kind of with Gunner. Not a huge fan of that track either, but I'll be out there trying to make the most points I can gain.
Well, back-to-back winner here for the NODAK Outlaw Sim League. Man, congratulations to another checker flag. You got any shout-outs that you'd like to give?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Rocket Racing Setups, Rocket Racing Graphics, Steve Koss for building the setups and making us go fast, and then BG Products and Carolina BG.
Very cool, man. We'll see you next week.
Yep, thank you guys. Thank you for the broadcast and Philip for putting on the league.
Much appreciated. Carlin Kira, back-to-back winners. Third-time winner here for the NODAK Outlaw Sim League. He's the only driver that has a back-to-back, or the two-time winner. He's now the only driver with a three-time winner. The only repeat winner is what I'm trying to get at. Absolutely dominated Lernerville and absolutely won this one. Hard-fought battle, though, with Clayton Tilley there at the end. Hurt race car for Tilley. I did not notice, though. He did say he got around him 2 or 3 times, and then the caution waved, and then gave back the lead spot to Cure. I did not see that, so my apologies for missing that action. But man, tough break if that did happen. So Tilley, hurt race car overall. Is he still gonna finish there in the podium spot? Here's the final results up there on your race screen. If they pull up, Carlin Cure, Gunnar Harris, Clayton Tilley. Phil, what a run that driver had. Trying to change the good luck page, and he absolutely did. Had bad luck for about 2 or 3 weeks. Made it from the lower main to the Mac Daddy show, and he moved all the way up to the 4th spot. Sean Brown, Hammer Down Brown, driver from Canada. He finished in P5. Josh Hofer, 6th place. Patrick Spangler, P7. Daniel Boyd, 8th. 9th place is going to be Andrew Hauser. 10th place is Tyler Wilson. 11th place is going to be Josh Jason, P12. Coulter, 13th, playing Brink. Chad Center, Zach, Kobe, Kenny Hoffman. And I think that's it. Only 18 cars started the race field here tonight. So that's it. That's going to make up Weedsport. Obviously, Bristol Dirt next week, like I've asked all top 3 of these drivers. Those 3 drivers, not the biggest fan of that place. Now, I got to be honest with you. Some 410 sprint cars there. It might be fun. It might not. I don't know. That track's a little weird. You can run down on the apron sometimes. But I don't know. I don't know how to race that. 16 cars finished on the lead lap. 2 cars did not finish on the lead lap. Probably the most cautions we've had all season long. But that's okay. Because honestly, that wasn't that many cautions compared to some leagues. This league, most of the time, goes green to green or just has 1 or 2 cautions. Which, I kind of like 1 or 2 cautions. I like seeing some pretty good wrecks. And that's going to be it here for tonight for Wisco_TV. Next broadcast, what is it today? Today's Sunday. I think Thursday. I will have a broadcast, a league coming up Monday nights. I got my league race Tuesday nights. Wednesday we'll have a league race coming up this month. Then we got Thursday, and then we got Sunday. We have back-to-back headers. National Dirt Racing Association afternoon late model action. And then we come right over here to the 410 nighttime racing. Definitely makes your Monday morning a little bit better if you can capture the feature win here for the NODAK Outlaw Sim League. This league is absolutely growing great, getting extremely fast. And man, making it to the A main should just make your Monday morning a little bit better. Regardless, that's going to do it. Much appreciated for the likes and follows, all the comments. That's very cool to see. Make sure you guys like this page if you guys don't mind, and make sure you guys like and follow. So Ashley here, I'm getting ever slightly better each time I race with you. Little by little. Every time I try to practice dirt, I just get worse, it seems. It's like my golf game. I'm going to try to make a joke here. It's like my golf game. Every time I try to play golf, try to take golf serious, it just doesn't work. Same thing with dirt racing. I don't know. All right, next week, Bristol Dirt for the NODAK Outlaw Sim League. That was awful. Bristol Dirt. Then we got Knoxville, Charlotte, Lima Land. Labor Days, they're going to be off. Then we're going to finish up with a 3-race shootout with Volusia, USA. And then Fairbury. That's kind of a weird setup, USA and then Fairbury. It'll make an exciting ending. Carlin Cure is the winner of this. Connor Harris, Clayton Tilley, second, third. Thank you all for tuning in once again. Please stay safe, stay healthy, enjoy some iRacing.com. A new week starts Monday. If you didn't have the best of weeks, well, there you go. You get a better week Monday. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Much appreciated. And I'll talk to you guys soon.